Get out the insurance cards, get out the copays. The office is open, my friends. Brought to you by drroto.com.
Go, let it ride.
Let it get it.
Let's get it. I'm a nightmare. You can keep your favors. Woo! What's up, everybody? It's Heat Override, and I'm ready to bring the pain for you this week. I got Dan with me. You know this is the Fight Club of Pain. Oh, man, I think I got it all this week. I think I got my echoes. I got my Macho Man. I got my music from my boy PaysoBestEver. That's the song. The name of the song is Nightmare, and that's how we're rolling it this week. Ooh, yeah. Dan, what's up?
Oh, man, it's been a trying week, bro. Trying week, but I'm here now, man. I'm the reason we weren't here yesterday, so.
Dude, that's not a blame. So for everybody, Dan took piece of beam upside the head yesterday, so it knocked him out. So he's getting knocked out before the fights even start. Dan's the first knockout of the week. You're the prelim of the prelim of the prelim.
Hey, if you took those odds, man, yeah, God bless you.
I had my odds on you though. You got back up and you won that fight because you got a smile on your face and you're here to talk Fight Club. Yeah.
And I worked for 4 more hours after that, so we're good.
You did. You had no way of actually getting off that shift. So man, that was wild. But man, everybody, if you haven't been or seen what the Fight Club of Pain about, what it is we cover the main card. We talk some crazy shit, and then we give out live bets, parlays at the end, and of course a DFS lineup. Already got it hammered out. Hey, we're gonna be taking some chances this week. We got 315. We came in hot with Nightmare. So I mean, dude, what do you love about this card?
Oh man, I'm a big Jose Aldo fan.
I bet you are.
I'm a big Jose Aldo fan, man. Not gonna lie, I love Jack Della Maddalena too, man.
Yeah, I don't mind
love
him either.
I love
totally
him.
love him. I fell in love with Sandhagen last week. I just keep falling in love the more fights I watch. And yeah, I'm doing the fight tape and everything. This week was a lot easier though because of the Leon Edwards and Sean Brady fight. I was able to. I already seen Muhammad, so and then I knew Muhammad because he's a big name. So for me, again, those household names: John Jones, John's Ducky Jones. I mean, 317 again, but I don't think so.
I mean, Muhammad's not really a household name. He's kind of
Remember the name, Dan.
A new guy name. I wish I didn't remember him. Not gonna lie.
You know, he's one of those guys that really, wears on you, literally, and in the ring too. He wears on you.
Oh, he's the most boring champion we have. So boring.
All right, let's leave those antics for the main event when we get there. But, for everybody knowing, again, we give out the DFS lineups. We give out live lineups. We try to hit the sportsbook live and try to hit bets that are coming in or may have not moved. We finally got the Benoit Saint Denis numbers in today.
Yeah.
Use that. Oh, dude. They're all like negative. They're all negative. So the only thing you can do is just you have to go for round knockout. So his first, I already know this offhand, his first round knockout is a plus 175, but his second round knockout's a plus 750 on FanDuel. So for me, I'm just all about that right now. I'm like, oh. And then, of course, first and second, which I think his first and second is maybe a 155. We'll look at it live, though, when we get to that fight. But at the same time, it's all over the place. But like we explained last week in the fight theory and what you provided, Dan, and what you said, and then you were talking up, you were bringing sense to me with RDR. And I loved RDR going into that fight against Bo Nickel. And then it just made sense when I seen those props and that knockout prop.
Yeah.
I was all in, man. Tell me about it, dude.
Oh man, I saw it coming, man. Bo Nickel shoots with his head up, and
Mm-hmm.
he never covers his midsection at all, even in the clinch. He's always ready to get that knee. Always.
You're predictable. He's predictable.
Yeah, he's predictable. He either shoots and tries to ragdoll you and ground and pound,
Yeah.
or he tries to throw sloppy stand up. That's all he has. He's not a mixed martial arts fighter. He is a wrestler trying to be a mixed martial arts fighter.
And he gets by in the UFC because eventually someone throws a dumb punch or something like that, and then next thing you know he gets wrapped up, and then Bo Nickel wins. But with
Yeah.
RDR, you brought up and we brought up the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu being able to counter that, but
Yeah.
that wasn't even it. It was the striking. He looked pathetic once RDR had that final combo in, put him up against it. They already made a meme of it. He was doing the knack in the belly, knack in the face. And those
Yeah.
punches didn't even look like punches. Really, it was like he was going knick knack patty whack, give Bo Nickel a sack or something because he was about to take a sit. And then he goes over, and just like we said, the knee was going to end that plus 2,300. We got that.
Yeah.
Even though my picks were 6 and 6, a lot of people had some wildness this week. And I mean, overall for the show, I went 4 and 2, you went 3 and 3. But that doesn't matter. What mattered is that we broke down that fight and Daniel Rodriguez against.
Yeah. I was upset. I was upset about that, man. I was upset. I like Ponzi, man. I do. I like Ponzi.
Yeah, and he was okay. He was doing okay. But Rodriguez, okay, go on.
But I also told you that his chin is suspect.
Yeah.
I told you his chin is suspect. If he gets clipped, he's falling.
Yeah, and that was definitely a great game plan by Rodriguez because he was blitzing like me the whole time. Literally, every combo was a step forward, pump, 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 pump. And you hear this all the time. Once the fighter starts backing up, that they're losing. They're losing, and we're going to talk about that with some of these fighters today because that's going to be some of the cases. But we're still, as we just said, even though our picks were kind of wild, we had some upsets win, we had some upsets we thought were going to win, just lose. So overall, what really worked for us was the fight theory and hitting that plus 2,300, the plus 2,600, following the first and second, the second and third with RDR, and those being the 1,100 odds, and just being able to cash out across the board. The DFS lineup did well that we gave out. That was a 50-50 lineup that would have cashed you in a 50-50 lineup. Unfortunately, my other 3 DK lineups did not do well because I went 3 and 3 practically on a lot of those fights and those cards. FanDuel didn't work out as well either. And that's the thing is I need to remember to play more 50-50s. I literally played all the 8s and the 3s, and I needed to score in the top 20%. I literally was in the top 22%. If I play in a 50-50 or triple up, I'm going to win money, but I didn't. I just literally sat back. I was in a tournament, man. I didn't have any time to really throw in those weird lineups that I like to do. So, I mean, I was fighting myself, and that's kind of how it worked out. But as we say, week and week and week and week and week, is you always cover yourself. Cover yourself either with DFS, you cover yourself, you hedge. With the other fighter, you pick one thing. Look, if you think, again, I thought Bo Nickel was going to win, I pick RDR because Dan's like, yo, I think he's subbing him. So I take sub and knockout, which was plus 500. Bam, on Dan. He got it. And then I took that second round knockout, the second and third, and the first and second, literally laid it out on 100. I don't care what show in the world is. We were the only show in the world that put it out like that. Yeah.
But this week, buddy, I'm going back with science, and I am not going to say predictions from my heart today. So I'm actually going to go with fight theory and watching tape and everything with my predictions today.
Okay, all right. See, he's trying to go 5-0 again, or maybe 6-0. So we, of course, we already said that we're covering both Grasso Silva, Aldo Zahabi, Shevchenko Froth, and Mohammed Della Maddalena, right? And then we're also going to be covering, because we thought that this was a big fight with so many women's flyweights going on, Andrade and Judavicius.
Yeah.
I said Jazudu,
Jasmine. Just call her Jasmine. That's Jasmine. That's Jasmine, man.
Jazuda Vicious. I got it. Woo!
There it is.
All right, yeah, but we're going to be calling her Jasmine. So we're going to talk about that, since you have the number 7, number 9, number 1, number 5. You got the champ fighting number 2, right? Yep. Number 2. So we thought that would be a really fun thing. Was there any other fights you wanted to cover?
Let me look at these fights real quick. Look at
Yeah.
these fights real quick.
And I got this.
I'm not gonna lie, I really like Brad Katona in like almost the opening bout of the prelims. I really like Brad Katona.
Okay.
But I think Brad Katona is going to lose, because Brad Katona is a wrestler, and that's all he knows. He does not know stand up. He is the lower weight version of Bo Nickel.
I mean, he's overall, like, yes, he is well rounded, but he is more known as a wrestler. You know, when I looked at this fight, and I saw that Bezgat had a 10-inch reach.
Yes.
He's literally, even though he's the favorite, and as of right now, he's a negative 146. Katona has come up to a 124. Now, I did pick Katona, but this is that fight that I'm talking about. So if I'm picking Katona like Nickel, then I'm picking knockout by Bekazat, because that to me right now. Go on.
If Brad Katona gets a hold of him at any point in this fight, he's going to take him to the ground, and he's going to hold him there, and he's going to try to ground and pound the whole time. There's no mistaking that, and that's his MO. That's what he likes to do. But if he doesn't, if it stays standing, there's no chance for him on the feet.
Dude, again, back to the 10 inches of reach. Like, that's a whole ruler almost, man.
Yeah.
And when I saw that, my first thought was, of course, Bekzat, because right now his first and second round it's what I just put it. I just threw it in. It's plus 600. It's a plus 600. His second and third rounds a plus 850. But what they're thinking right now, that this fight goes a distance, and they're heavy on that. So they're heavy on it with the negative 330. But I agree with you. I think this goes under. So if you take the plus 240, right? If you take Bekzat, right?
Yeah.
That right there as a parlay is a plus 285 to go under. And that covers. So we already have the knockout 1 and 2, and 2 and 3, and we have that. So we're gonna throw that in, because that's what we do, people. Let's throw in bets together. If you got a comment, ask us. We will answer it. We will post your comment at the bottom of the screen. People, do you not want to be read? Do you not want to be entertained?
Come talk. Come talk.
Give us something, man. Because, man, we will talk shit on anybody. I don't give a shit, right?
Yes, sir.
So let's get it. So right there gives you that plus 285. Now, if you go on to the other side, because of course I'm taking Katona, because I think that, I love the wrestler. I like the stand up. I like that he's in his home country. So if you do that, right now, and it's still the under, it's a plus 879. Plus 879, people. I mean, both ways, under. Both fighters win.
Yeah, and
You don't like it, do you? Do you?
no. I'm also taking Katona. I'm also taking Katona in this fight because I think he gets a hold of him because his grappling is so much better, and I think his takedowns are so much more advanced than the other guy's defense.
Yeah. So
So
if we pull that up right there, if you want to pull that up real quick, go on talking while I do that.
I really think Katona gets the takedown and he ground and pounds him. And
here's the thing: he's got a 0, bro.
Yeah.
No one's ever really attempted. No one's really taken him down.
Yeah, because he's a stand-up fighter, and he likes to keep everything standing. He came from a kickboxing background, and I really like, you know me, with a boxer, and
you're a boxer.
If I fight a wrestler's going to take me down 10 out of 10 times. So I like the wrestler's chances in this.
I agree with that. And the thing is what's really nice as DFS wise, Katona is only 7,600, which is not bad. And if you look at his fight average, even when he lost his last fight against Matsumoto, right, he scored 62.7 points in a loss. We had people win last week. That's why the DFS sucked. People won last week with like 44 points because there was no action. So we need high action people. Now, of course, when you go up to, the best cat kind of, his area, wherever he is, he's not even on here. There he is. Bam. Right? When you go to him, I mean, I know he lost the Nurmagomedov, all right? And everybody knows. And I'm not going to be that same podcast. I go, he floored him because he barely tapped him. He's a lot of power. Nobody gives a shit. Look, I literally got kicked by a spinning roundhouse to my lip. Yes, on Wednesday. I thought my lip was split wide open. It was not. Some people got chin, some people don't. And he just caught him with a lucky off-centered punch. He got him. And I don't think that there's enough really to go on that because he only threw 3 significant strikes. How do you go 3 rounds? How do you do that? Like, see, that's the problem with me. And that's why he's just going to get walked. So I'm taking Katona. And who are you taking?
I'm taking Katona by decision.
Too?
Yeah.
By decision? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm just straight up nuts. And I'm going to take a second to third round Katona submission win for plus 3,100.
I could see it.
I believe it's a decision. We've already played the unders. We could play the overs. But I want that 3,100, and I want it bad. And that's why I'm going to throw down at least a whole unit on that. Because at least, it's 5, 10, whatever. Throw $10 on it. Look, we'll make your money back by the end of the thing. But I'm not saying he'll win by that. But that's why you cover yourself. Because if you hit that and he does get the under, it goes under rounds, you have the plus 856 we gave you, the plus 3,100 if it happens to be by submission. And another thing that I want to throw in there too is when you go to the actual double lines, which is, it'll be Brad's submission in points, it's a plus 125. So no matter what you do, you're going to win money with these bets. This is another one of those fights that makes the Fight Club of Pain special, people. I'm just saying. That's what we do. All right, we both got Katona.
That's right.
He's just changing. All right, is there another fight you want to go to?
No, I'm really interested in this Jasmine and Jessica Andrade fight.
Andrade. It feels like there should be a G in there. Sorry, no disrespect, people. I just mean it. That's what it is. I mean, all right, let's hit it up. Let's go to it. Number 7 versus number 9. You have Jasmine Jasudavicius.
Jasudavicius. That's a nice one. That's a good one.
I tried Jessica Andrade, right?
Yeah,
So
Jessica Andrade.
right now, we have Jessica. Well, when I took this, Jessica was a plus 220, and Jasmine was a negative 295. Since then, da, 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 it's a plus 235 and a negative 300 now. So, Dan, talk about it. What you seeing?
So both these women love to brawl. They both love to stand in the middle and just throw hands with zero
Mm-hmm.
abandon for their opponent. Like they 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 just love to fight.
Mm-hmm.
Um, one is a striking style, which is Jasmine.
Yep.
Ja- Jasmine is more polished. She will throw a jab. Um, Jessica Andrade, she will throw overhand, but she will windmill her opponents it, until she gets a hold of them, and she'll put you on your head if she slams you.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you could ask Thug Rose about that because
Mm-hmm.
she put Thug Rose out with a slam.
Damn right.
But this is it. It's going to be a fight. It's not going to be. There's going to be zero style
Yeah.
to this matchup at all.
Yeah. And the thing is right now, Jasmine is literally on DraftKings is 9,200, which is second to Saint Denis, and Saint Denis is going to be in 100% of lineups. Saint Denis, there's going to be one dude that is going to think that Prepelic is going to knock him, and that's just not going to happen. People, he's had two fights, Hubbard and Taleb. He's
You're
scored
not looking.
night.
You aren't looking. That's this guy.
Yeah.
This guy.
What? You're not taking Prepelic, are you?
Yeah.
We'll get to that. I'm just gonna say it. So on this Jasmine and Jessica fight, the points is a negative 130, and the fight going to distance is a negative 122 on FanDuel right now, and a negative 106. So when I see that, FanDuel's confused. They're saying this is the pick'em. You got the old, strong, wily vet. You have that
Yep.
new and upcoming, but
Yeah.
what I like about Jasmine, of course, being the bigger, the stronger, the more upcoming, and everything like that right now,
I don't know about stronger. I don't know about
oh yeah,
stronger. But
okay, I'll give you. She's not stronger, but what I like about her is she should be more hungry right now. This should be her moment. You need to
I
get
agree.
past Jessica. You beat the 7. You're 9. You're at least moving up to 7. You're at
Yep.
least giving yourself a chance for one more fight to prove that you should deserve a chance at a championship shot.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's what we're looking at right here. But if she gets put down, then that makes me go, oh, well, then I don't know about you. That makes me
Yeah.
doubt you, and you're in your home. So you need to win this fight. And what I think she has, of course, going for her, she has a 6-inch reach. Again, the leg reach being 3 inches isn't too much, but at the same time, she's got that reach. But when we go to the books again, going back to her double chance, now Andrade, right? Everything's positive. Plus 440 for knockout submission, plus 270 knockout points, right? But when you go down to Jasmine, you got a plus 180 for knockout in submission, which of course she may not go for the submission. Knockout in points is a negative 135. That's going to be your play. Submission, only slightly worse at a negative 180, which tells me that they think that there's a chance for her to choke out, which I don't think is going to happen. But we have seen weirder things. I was listening to one of our podcasts from the past, Bahamundes, when he got the choke, and how nobody thought that would happen. Again, it happened because if the opportunity presents itself and you get you could wrap up a gilly or something like that, then that's an easy bet. But what I like about that too is, so they give such a wide, and I'm just trying to teach you. they give you such a wide against the knockout and the submission that it makes you want to take the submission. You got it, because I'm going to tell you right now, that's her bread and butter is the submission, because the knockout is 800 and 1100 for the 1-2, 2-3, but the submission is 480, 700. So that tells me right there that they think this fight is going to be under because they think she's going to get wrapped up. And a lot of people think that she's going to get wrapped up. And I think she's going to get wrapped up. And this is how we're going to do it. I'm going to say it right now on it. We're good. Okay, I was looking at the wrong fighter. We're going Jasmine. Second round submission plus 1,300. Bam. Let's get it right now, people, before we get
There
it.
you go.
Dan, what's your method?
I think Jessica Andrade pulls it off. I think she drags her to the ground, and I think she grounds and pounds her. And third round TKO.
Woo! Oh, all right. Third round TKO plus 2,900, people. Plus 2,900. And I want to say something that while you were talking about that right there for a second while I was giving these bets out, at the same time when I flew back into it, dude, I would love Andrade to get a submission because, bro, her second and third round submission are both 5,000.
Yeah.
I'm playing it. I'm playing both of those. And people go, well, then you throw your money away. I'm going to win that money back, people. We're going to win that money back for you, people. We've already told you, if you just listen and you played all these bets, you've already won your money. So, therefore, take some chances because that plus 5,000 is juicy. Look, even a quarter wins 1,250. Even a quarter wins 1,250. You got a quarter for the meter at work on Monday. You could have some extra quarters for the next few weeks on Monday if you get a quarter on that. I'm not saying it'll happen, but there's a possibility. There's always a chance, and you never know. All right, let's move along to the next fight. So this will be the top four. So we're just going to go, right? Do you want to talk about the Saint Denis fight or no?
I mean, we can.
All right, let's talk about it. You want to bring it up. We got Benoit Saint Denis versus Kyle Prepolek. Dan, bring it out. Talk about it.
All right. Propalik, he relies on his boxing, his feints, his timing, and his head movement in every fight. He reminds me of almost like a Max Holloway, the way he fights. He's not as good as Max Holloway. Max Holloway is one of the all-time GOATs in the
dude, he's
sport.
just awesome. I know him. I've seen his fights. I've watched his fights.
He reminds me of a Max Holloway, and he tries to be like that. But he's fighting someone in Benoit Saint Denis that has an iron chin. The only person to knock him out was Dustin Poirier, and Dustin Poirier is one of the hardest hitters in that division.
One of the best fighters around.
One of the best fighters ever in that division. Ever in that division. And Saint Denis is going to rely on his wrestling, and he's going to try to wrestle him. And if it stays standing, I think Prepolek has a chance.
I think you're right about that. And since we started this fight, it's Saint Denis has come down from 1,600 to 1,300. So maybe we're getting. So when we look at the knockouts, look, Prepolek is freaking off the hook, man. We got 3,100 on the 1-2, and we got second or third 4,900. Now, if this is going to happen for Prepolek, I think he survives the first round. I know that you want to say that he's got to come out. I think we get that first round feel out. He's going to try to rush him. He's going to get a couple licks. Next thing you know, we go to the second and third round. Bang. We're gonna throw down. a full unit on that, because for me, that's way too juicy in a knockout fight. And this is why I'm going to tell you this, people, because I've already explored this fight before. The knockout props are insane. The only way you're going to get Saint Denis in the positive is if it is 1-2 or 2-3, or of course by method. Even his submissions is a 135. His double chance on FanDuel, of course, is a negative 450. 450. This isn't going to distance. Negative 450 for a double chance. That hasn't even, since we started the Fight Club of Pain, we haven't even seen that. We haven't even seen that in some of the biggest upsets. This is the biggest line, I gotta say, of the year. Well, we started late. I started after Super Bowl, people, so don't kill me. But at the same time, this right here for me, and then when you go to how will the fight end, knockout plus 135, and submission plus 105. So you're just playing it all because you need to get that positive. You need to cover yourself perfectly. And so for me, play the knockout, because if a knockout's supposed to happen, then you're going to get the knockout. Already got it played. And then you have Prepelec with that. And then if you want to get wild, even if you go Prepelec all that, he's maxed it plus 5,000. They maxed him at plus 5,000. They weren't giving us anything else. So honestly, you could probably pull away from the single rounds, and you could probably just hope for that second to third or that third to first. Play it that way. That way you're covered for all of the rounds with him, and then just come back and hit it hard with Saint Denis. Hit the submission, hit the knockout for the fight, and whatever happens, happens. Because right now, you're not going to, even when I parlayed Saint Denis under and his money line, it was still negative 450. So that's the only way to make money. You could avoid this fight, but in DFS, do not avoid this fight. Do not avoid this fight. Because, I mean, Saint Denis is my captain everywhere. I don't give a shit. That's what's happening.
I agree with you.
So who are you picking?
So I think it's a hard-fought fight. I think they go back and forth. There's going to be takedowns. There's going to be knockdowns. Mm-hmm. But I like Prepelec to squeak out a decision victory.
Dan is going all in. He wants the money, people. He's retiring early for us, man. We're done with our job. Actually, my job was kind of fun today. I'll tell you about that after we get off of this. But so we got that going. So boom, we're already on the main card. We're going Alexa Grasso versus Natalia Silva. We got number one, former champ, beaten by the champ on this card, going against the up-and-coming Natalia Silva, who came out in a straight dress for their matchup yesterday.
Yeah.
That was wild, man. She came out. She's all partied. She's ready to go, man. But I'm down with it. What's up, Dan? Tell me about this.
They're both studs. One is someone that's already up there and doesn't want to fall, and one is an up-and-comer. They both love to throw down, and they both will shoot their takedowns when they have to. And you know that by watching film.
Yeah. They're both going to be ready to get. This is the fight of the night.
This is the most up in the air fight for me, because I think Silva is the faster and stronger of the two.
I agree with that. Those are two things I did write down as well too: the speed and the strength. Go on.
And I think Grasso is the more crafty veteran.
And has fought the better competition.
This is a toss-up because it's an up-and-comer versus basically a placeholder at this time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's practically what it is. And right now, the FanDuel doesn't know what to do with this fight. I mean, they do think it's going to go the distance with a negative 450 to a plus 300. Right now, the knockout and submissions are all 4-digit. So right there, you got that. And so we'll just run through it real quick. You got Grasso 1 and 2 is 2,200, then 2,700 for 2 and 3. Then we got 1,200 and 1,600 for 1 and 2, 2 and 3 for Silva, which I think that might be the if you're gonna go that this is gonna go under, I would go the 2 and 3 knockout by Silva. But the only reason why I say that is because Grasso seems to go backwards sometimes, and I love that
I
Silva
agree.
has that power
I
and
agree.
that volume. So if you're going like this, it's no different than my point fight stand. When
I agree.
people stand
I
there, I
agree.
just jump the shit all over them.
I 100% agree with you.
What are you thinking, man? Tell me.
I think Silva wins by decision. I don't think it's going to be a knockout. I don't think there's going to be a tap out. I think she wins by on points.
I agree with that. Right now, that's a negative 165. So I'm going to go with that as well, too. And again, if we want to roll down, if you want to see if you can make some extra money, you go to the double points, people. And then you see the double chance, I should say, the double chance. And you got Silva knockout and points is a negative 220. So they think that that's the method. And then they're throwing in a plus 250 for knockout in points and submission in points for Grasso. So they don't think she's really going to get that. They think that most likely the knockout in points is more, but they have the submission and points at a negative 190. So that right there says that the submission in points is actually under the knockout. So for me, I'm going to go with a decision distance on this one. This is also one of the fights that I covered on my five tastics, which will be out tomorrow on drroto.com. You do have to pay to see that. So use code word DOC, become a subscriber today, get all the baseball money, get all the football content for your dynasty and fantasy football drafts that are happening right now. Now, right? And then you get all of the UFC content for me and Dan because right now we're slamming it. That article is 39 and 10. I can't say. And the only reason why it's off is because the first week I did 4 picks. I should just throw an extra win on there just for the hell of it because I'm winning
Do
like
it. You're 40 and 10, man. You're 40 and 10.
yeah, and that's it. That's what you pay for. The Fight Club opinion is fun. We get to do some crazy bets. You get the plus 2,300, the plus 2,600 from last week, and then you get the consistency at drroto.com. And we're the UFC sheriffs. Nobody else calls themselves the UFC sheriffs that I know of. So Dan, we're the UFC sheriffs. Everybody in the Fight Club of Pain is a UFC sheriff. Yeah.
A
Everybody's like,
badge.
what the hell just happened? What
I
the
need a
hell just
badge.
happened?
I need a badge.
Dude, I'm making shirts. I'm making
I need a
shirts. Believe
badge.
that. I do have Bring the Pain shirts. This shirt's DJ Magic Mike shirt. So if you're a DJ Magic Mike fan, drop the bass. Today's his birthday. Happy birthday, DJ Magic Mike. I wore this shirt. He just sent it to me for my birthday. So I'm wearing it on his birthday for the Fight Club of Plane. That's why we went rap for the intro and we're going rap for the end of the show. Yeah, you want to get that show from Peso Best, that song from Peso Best Ever. Totally. Dude is crazy. He's from Erie, PA. This guy's got flow. I mean, that beat was dropping. This dude got nobody behind him but himself. Himself. So I respect that more than anything in this world, man. All right, back to it. So we're both taking Silva then.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. We love it. Dan's got the decision. I got the decision, but I was sneaky with that knockout. All right, let's get to your boy. Say it
Jose.
right.
Jose.
Jose. Jose. Aldo. Verse. Ayman Zahabi.
All
Another
right.
Canadian. Tell me about it, Dan.
So this got moved to a featherweight bout, man, because neither of them could make weight because they both like to eat.
Mm-hmm.
So they were hanging out with the Burrito Bandit. So we're
Dude.
gonna mark that. We're gonna mark that on the calendar.
Did you see when I sent you that picture? I put a burrito with an eye over
Yeah,
burrito.
yeah. They were both hanging out with the Burrito
It's the
Bandit.
burrito. That's a shirt, people. We're gonna have that as a Fight Club shirt, man. We're gonna have a big burrito on the front. We're gonna have the burrito bandit in the back, and only the people that follow the Fight Club plan are gonna know what the hell that means.
So neither of them made weight. So it got moved to a featherweight bout. So we're at a 145. It was supposed to be 135. So both of them weighed in. Both of them weighed in at like 143. And they had to make 135. So
we got some.
Go ahead.
Go on. No. Go on.
So apparently neither of these dudes were training very hard. So Zahabi is, he wants to be a boxer so bad, but his stand-up is kind of sloppy. He loves to throw head fakes. He loves to rely on timing, but sometimes his timing gets him punched in the face.
You know, that's the thing, is that's like my opponents in point fighting, man. They just like to get punched in the face.
Yeah,
like,
sometimes.
And I'm not allowed to do that, but I still
Yeah,
do it.
sometimes his timing gets him punched in the face. But he only has a couple losses, right? He only has 2 losses. Am I wrong?
No.
No, I'm right. He only has 2 losses.
Yep, you're right. You're right. That's what I meant. I'm learning a lot right now, but go on.
He is fighting the featherweight, I won't say GOAT, but one of the top 3 featherweights of all time.
No, you called them I think you called them door gatekeepers last week. You called them gatekeepers. So Jose Aldo is definitely a gatekeeper, and this thing has been around forever.
Jose Aldo is one of the top 3 featherweights of all time. One of the top 3 145-pound fighters of all time. Is he past his prime? Yes.
I think he's past his prime 10 years ago, because I think everybody thinks he's 55 because he lied on his birth certificate.
Has his chin been checked? Yes. Has he ever been the same since he got knocked out in 13 seconds by Conor McGregor? No, he's never been the same.
Okay.
But I am going to go with Jose Aldo because he has the heart and the determination to beat this young up-and-comer. And I do not think Zahabi has fought anyone like Jose Aldo in his career.
I agree with that 100%. All the numbers are on the distance right now, and I agree with everything you just said about Zahabi. I think Zahabi has almost been sacrificed the same way that Prepelic was.
Yes.
And even though you took it, I get it. If you're not, look, every bettor in the world is going to say, there's no money on the St. Denis side. That's why we're playing knockout. That's why we're playing submission. That everything's positive in that realm. But when we come back to this fight, and we go down to Zahabi's knockouts, a 1,000, a 1,300 follow-up. His chokeouts 31-37, and Aldo is a 31-41. So for me, this is all knockout. Aldo has the plus 750 and the plus 950. When you go to the what's it called? The how the fight will end, knockout to plus 280, plus 1,300 for submission for either fighter. You just throw a quarter on that. Just throw a quarter on that, bro. Like, just throw a quarter on that. None of these fighters are going to fake it, but it's a quarter, man. It's literally a quarter. Throw 9 cents on it. That's the minimum that FanDuel will accept. Do that because you cover yourself. But knockout plus 280. Either fighter gets a knockout is plus 280. I'm saying it right now. Jose Aldo, money line in no distance, is a plus 368 when I made that bet. But now, Jose Aldo and not go in the distance is a plus 373. So it only went up a few. I'm taking that because I think Jose Aldo knocks out Zahabi in the second or third round. And I'll tell you why. When I took that original bet, it was a plus 1,000. That's a plus 950 right now. I'm taking it. Aldo.
Nice.
Zahabi has never been in the ring with somebody of Aldo's stature.
I
There's no
agree.
way. This is like right now if you took Chelsea Chandler and threw her in with Shevchenko. We're looking at it like she's getting wrapped up in like 1 second.
Yes.
Like Shevchenko runs across the ring, grabs Chelsea Chandler, and makes her eat the mat. Like that. Right? So for me, that's one of my bold picks. That's one of my bold picks is that Aldo knocks out Zahabi in the second or third.
I like it.
Take it, man. I'm all in it. So you got
I like
Aldo
it.
too, bro.
I like Jose Aldo, but I like him by decision because I think he throws those leg kicks and I think he works the body. And just like vintage Jose Aldo, leg kicks, works the body, and I think he beats him down.
And that's why I think that knockout happens. So when people come back this week or come back next week and they go, damn, that show was hot as shit, right? How do they get it right, people? Like, Dan's an ex-fighter. I'm a current fighter. I'm not one of these guys that retired years ago and is giving you fight theory. I'm literally trying to learn as much UFC as possible with the help of my boy Dan and the rest of the Fight Club when they're talking at karate. And I'm going into the deep numbers. I'm learning everything as possible. But every fight I see, I literally, just last weekend, I fought a double world champion. Never thought. He literally just said, yeah, I'm just a purple belt. But he failed to mention he was a black belt and double world champion before that. And to be a double world champion at the age of 19, to take me, the best fighter of 35 plus in the tri-state area, I don't care what anybody says. I'm going to say I'm the best. That's what's going on right now. I'm number one everywhere. Everywhere. Nobody's beat me but Ming. And Ming was a 19-year-old, 5-foot dude that was super damn fast that I've never fought. Right? But that gives me fight theory. That's what's going on in this world. And that's what we bring together when we do all of these shows for Fight Club of Pain. But Dan, it's time. It's time for the. I don't. I'm here. Did my camera go crazy?
I can't see you.
All right.
There you are. There you are.
So while my camera decides to figure itself out, we will get Dan going. All right, we got Shevchenko versus Faro. Tell me about it.
All right. Both of these females, they're both kickboxers. They're both Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu specialists. Faro has the faster pace. She does. Valentina Shevchenko loves to set her own pace. They have very similar fight styles. But the best person Faro has ever fought is Rose Namajunas.
And you just talked about her.
She's the best person that she's ever fought. Valentina Shevchenko, world champion. Second best female fighter to ever grace the UFC.
I agree with that. Nunez is number one, right?
Yes.
Do you have another number one?
No, I think number two is tied for me because Shevchenko and what's her name? Joanna Jędrzejczyk are both number two for me.
You amaze me with your knowledge, brother. That's why I love you so much.
Yeah, they're but those two are tied for number two all time for me. And Joanna just got inducted into the Hall of Fame this year. So Valentina Shevchenko is going to dictate this fight. Faro is not ready for someone the caliber of her, and I think Shevchenko finishes it in 3 rounds.
Submission or knockout?
I'm going to go knockout in 3 rounds.
Knockout, 3 rounds. So if you do the knockout in 3 rounds, you could go 2, 3, 4 for a plus 1400. You could do 2 and 3 for a 1900. So I'm definitely taking that because right now Shevchenko is in all my stuff. That's the thing is the sport. So the DFS side of this, there's a lot of people that can actually win this week that are criminally priced low. FanDuel, DraftKings, I caught you with your pants down, bruh. Like I'm gonna get this Trojan horse from over here, and they're about to go to town because you guys both priced wrong. And I know that one or two of those fighters will probably end up winning, making y'all think y'all smart in the end. But I'm telling you right now, there's definitely some price discrepancies. So a lot of the scores are going to be higher for DFS this week. Ha, caught you. Right? Oh, yeah, that's my pen there. Yeah, we're getting ready to get some stuff going. Right? That's how you catch them. And that's when you know when both sites are undercutting people like Shevchenko. And I'll actually run over to we're going to go to DraftKings right now, and they got where's she at? Rosso. She's not even like right here. But there's Faro. So Faro is 8,500. Shevchenko is 7,700. You're putting a champ at 7,700. 7,700. Like, if it goes 5 rounds and she gets a lot of points, she's going to score more than anybody else on this card other than the main event, right? So, or maybe she will. Maybe she can outscore Bilal Muhammad and Jack Della Maddalena, right? Maybe she can. But for me right now, I agree with you 100. I'm taking Shevchenko all the way. I love that you brought up. I mean, her price for me overall is insane at 7,700. Again, this is why I said when we get to the DFS lineup at the end of this show, people, I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to tell you why. Because these prices, these people can make things happen. So, what do you got, Dan? Even though we know Faro is the favorite, the number 2 fighter in the world, the favorite, the bigger, stronger of the two.
Is she though? Is she though?
I agree with that. I just think that sometimes it don't matter how big look, if I learned one thing from any of my point fights, and yes, I will reference the shit out of this, people, because I actually fight and a lot of you don't. When I fought the 6'5" guy, when I fought a 6'4" guy, when I fought a 6'5" guy, and I fought a 6'3" guy, they all lost to me. They had size, they had strength, they did not have speed. And that's the thing, is Shevchenko literally just looks fast. Like, she does pirouettes and shit. Like, that's some shit. Dan, go on. What you about to say?
Valentina Shevchenko is one of the most polished fighters, not in the women's division, but in the whole UFC.
Mm-hmm.
And I would put her against men her size. I'm not gonna lie. I agree. I would put her against men her size, and she would win. And my wife is over here nodding her head, saying yes.
I agree. There's definitely some people.
Valentina Shevchenko was one of the most polished mixed martial arts fighters on the planet, man or woman.
I agree with that.
And she deserves to be in the GOAT conversation.
That is
she really does. She deserves it. And until she does not deserve to be in the GOAT conversation, I am picking Valentina Shevchenko.
Me too. Picking her. You got the decision, don't you?
No,
no, you don't. You got the submission.
I have Shevchenko by 3rd round knockout, actually.
Okay, 3rd round knockout. Whoop, whoop, whoop. 3,400. Oh, I'm so playing that. I am so playing that. Like, that's why another reason why I love doing this show, because I get to do all this stuff. And football is going to be so much fun with you, Dan. Like, I still have to, like, talk about DFS and stuff like that with you. But, dude, so fun at Dr. Roto. So
man. Football's another story because I'm not going to lie. I hate every team but the Steelers. Hate everyone.
Why you hate my team, Dan?
Uh,
Never did anything to y'all.
they're not in our division, so
Yeah.
they don't
All
bother
right.
me.
All right. Before we get to the main event, we do have a comment from JT. He's watching us on YouTube. So we're going to flop that up right there. Am I the only one who reads Islam's tweets as him saying he's not going to fight Ilya? Even if Bilal wins, he said we might get real contender. I think he wants Ilya and Charles to fight first.
I
I
agree.
agree. Yes, you owe me a
I
beer.
I agree. I
I agree.
agree, JT. And I also think Ilya is. I
It's my number 2.
I I don't think. Oh man.
So let me.
I agree with what he said. I agree because
So I think the rumors of what people are saying right now that if Maddalena wins this title, that Islam's going to move up to take that title, and
he
then what's
he
up?
also said he's not gonna relinquish his title. So
Yes, he wants to be that double champ, triple champ that he wants to be. He wants to be that. So he's going to try to fight all the time, and I get that. But no, I agree with that. But that still leaves it open because I think that Ilya does have to fight Charles. I do think he does. And this is going to be your classic. You have that super because Charles is the best. Go on.
why? Why does he have to fight Charles Oliveira? Why?
Okay, he doesn't.
I don't I don't understand that because Charles Oliveira he almost got beat by Michael Chandler
Okay.
twice.
Okay. Okay. So, and I'm not, I want it. I want my number 2 and my number 1 power rankings guy, Islam and Ilya, to fight. I want that fight.
I agree with that. I agree with that, but I think Islam is ducking the Taporia fight.
Because you think that he thinks, because Taforia's going to knock him out, but he's trying to say he's going to choke him out, right?
I don't think he wants to fight Taporia.
Mm-hmm.
And if I was in that weight class, I wouldn't want to fight Taporia either.
No, he is fast. He's coming up with that speed. You're right. You're right. That division hasn't. I mean, they have great. That division's great. Let's not get it wrong. But I mean, that speed.
It's kind of like when Khabib ducked Tony Ferguson for 4 years.
Okay, go on. Go with that. I want to hear about it.
Did you know about that?
No, I know.
So
Yeah,
when Tony Ferguson was on a 16 fight winning streak and no one could beat him, and Khabib ducked him for 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of like that because it doesn't get their career anywhere. Come on, man.
Yeah. And I think I want to throw in right now too with Jones and Aspinall, like right now with Gange coming up into the fight. Did I say that right? Gange?
Cyril Gane.
Cyril Gane. Yeah. With him coming back up into the conversation right now, literally they're saying, Tom, we just want you to go knock somebody out.
Yeah.
So that we can give Jones an extra few months. And then now you have people coming out. I can't remember who said it. Again, read my power rankings. You'll get that. Right? He's saying that nobody needs 6 months to prep. He's right. Literally, I just fought in 3 tournaments in like 4 weeks, 5 weeks. And we have one in 2 weeks, and there's one tomorrow that we're skipping. Literally could have fought again and again. But I'm fighting in 2 weeks as of tomorrow. So, and that's in my hometown, Erie. But that's crazy. It's like, like you don't need that time. And I'm 47 now. I'm up there in age. I don't need 2 weeks or 6 months to prep for a fight. Now I understand that point fighting is nowhere near what they do in the UFC. But like I said, I literally took an unsheathed, unprotected kick by someone who is super fast and small. I blocked the first one, but he did a spinning roundhouse kick on me, heel kick, and he got me the second time. I take those hits too. And sometimes people don't want to feel that. And that's what we have here, that they're trying to figure something out. That after what Dana White said, that everything is holding up on this fight tonight, means we're going to get an amazing international fight week. But
well, let's talk about the main event, and we'll know who we're getting.
Canadian men don't win on pay-per-views.
Wait a minute. George St. Pierre.
Yeah. Hey, I was gonna say GSP is like one of the greatest fighters ever.
George St. Pierre.
Yeah. Okay, he got you on that one. but yeah, like right now, all these Canadians on this fight club or on this fight card, other than Jasmine, they don't have. I mean, Katona has a clear path to victory. Jasmine does, but the other two, they might get served up. They might get served. Radke a lock? Hold on here. I got it.
Oh, he's talking a recent streak. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Do you see the comments too?
Yeah, I can see the comments too. I got you. He's talking about a recent streak. Well, you should have said something about that because
we are
on Canadian pay-per-view. On Canadian pay-per-view cards, I get what you're saying. Now I get what you're saying.
Yeah. We will give you that. I don't mean anything. Is that generalization of Canadians? They're so nice. I love in Canada. I like going up there. There's always
there's a lot of great Canadian fighters. A lot of great Canadian fighters.
All right, we got Chuck. We got Chuck Rocky. All right, we got Raw Dirt looking at Rocky. Is he a lock? He looks dialed in. I will agree with that. A lot of the money, of course, is on Mike Malott, but Malott has been chinny. And if you're going to
very chinny.
Yeah. Do you want to talk about that real quick while I pull up the numbers real quick for this?
No. I was just throwing my 2 cents in, man. I believe Radke is a lock for that fight.
You do. And I'll
do.
tell you what, I do like the second and third round knockout for Radke. I think that he can definitely get it done. His second to third round knockout is a plus 750 right now. That is what I actually covered. I can't believe I was thinking all night. I was like, where's that plus 750? Bam, Raw Dirt. You just literally, it's a half a fade on Mallet. Okay, let's get this. Half a fade on Mallet too. It is. Like right now with the numbers being a negative 210, everybody thinks Mike Malott, I said Malott is going to win. A lot of people have him winning because he's a wrestler. Again, is this that wrestler versus boxer thing going on right here? But for me, go on, Dan.
I do agree. He did look hesitant against Giles. I do agree with that.
Okay. Yeah, and that has been brought up. And of course, Malott's again chin. And then we're going off of what PC said. PC says that these guys they don't have no chance. They don't have no chance up here. So if we're gonna do that, this is what really gets me on this fight, and this is why I've really looked at this fight in depth, because right now the distance is a negative 210, right? So when you go down to, of course, the winning method, how the fight will end, the knockout's a plus 120. You get both fighters for both plus 120. You get both fighters for a plus 155 on points. You get both fighters for a plus 290. But if we're saying right now that, and again, we're going with what I said, the second round knockout for Charles is a plus 1200. I love it. You can cover yourself every single way with this fight right now. You can hedge. People. So I do like that, what you said right there. And how he brought in.
Strickland MMA is tripping. He said, look at UFC 197. That was held in 2016, bro. That's not recent. That was 9 years ago.
Yeah, that was pre the C word.
He's tripping.
Did you see RDR is calling out Sean Strickland now? Like he's like, I beat you. I don't. I think Strickland wins that fight. Maybe not. If
Okay. Now we
RDR,
said two. Now we said 297. All right.
no, we got you. We got you, PC. We got you, PC. The I will say, right now that right there for me is total lock in. If we're gonna go Strickland versus versus RDR is clearly going to be the favorite. I think that the numbers will go with RDR being the favorite with this win. If RDR could beat Strickland, that would then give him at least one more win, or at least a chance for a title shot. But if Strickland beat him, then DDP is already going to fight Chimev. We already know that.
If it's a stand-up fight, man, Strickland will beat RDR. But we all know RDR is going to hug him and hump him. So,
hey, MMA Media Eclipse, it's good to see you, man. We've been doing this. I picked this up after football. Dan's been a long time UFC fan. I've been in and out. Last time I was in was pre-C word, and I get that. Yeah. I love Sean, man. I'm on his page and stuff, and I love that guy. I love Chris the Problem Duncan too. I don't know why. After his last win, I've just been like all about him. But no, that's what we've been doing. We've been doing this for every week. We practically present the show as a fool. We dive into the books. We use the DFS numbers. We use the fight theory. Last week, we got the 23 and the 26 with the Rodriguez and the RDR knockouts. Explain them down. We just been doing it. A few weeks ago, I had the perfect week. Dan was 5-0 last week. We're just trying to do our best with the fight theory. I'm a fighter. Dan's an ex-fighter. He's a boxer. I'm a karate guy, point fight. So we just try to use fight theory to explain these fights and to find the best ways by diving into the books right now and giving you all the best bets and numbers that could probably sway. And that's what really led to the RDR knockout last week. So thank you, man.
Hey, so Raw Dirt just said RDR gets it done against Sean. I agree if it's not a stand-up fight, man. If it goes against the cage, RDR gets it done. If it's a complete stand-up fight, Sean Strickland picks him apart.
Yeah, and everybody makes fun of Sean Strickland's little kick and the little punch combos. But at the end of the fight, that adds up. And if Sean Strickland does not get his nose broke in that second fight, there's a chance that he may have been able to beat DDP. He was doing well against him up until that point, but dude, break anybody's nose and try to go back in there and fight. Like if I got my nose broke, they would disqualify the guy immediately. Hell, I get almost disqualified for less than that. So I agree with that, man. It's great to see all these people finally commenting, man. It's been so fun, dude. That's what we've been trying for weeks to try to get in here and get people commenting and bringing the fights up because, this is a kind of small card this week. So when we're looking at all this and we're talking and bringing in and we have this nice little comment section, we're going to get to those DFS lineups at the end of the show and some more bold picks that might come out. I haven't mentioned one of them yet. But
hey, let's get to this main event.
Woo! Let me do it.
Ooh, yeah. We got Belal. Ooh, yeah. Remember the name like the cream of the crop rises to the top. Dig it. Ooh, yeah. Muhammad versus
Jack Della Maddalena. Who could be the future champ? Dan. Champ versus number 5. What's your feel?
All right. So we got we got Belal Muhammad, which is he's probably one of the best wrestlers on the planet. He reminds me of a sloppy Khabib. Not gonna lie, he's a sloppy Khabib. He's not as good. He's not as good, and we all agree. He's boring. He's pompous, and he wins. He wins. But Jack Della Maddalena, he is the second best boxer in the UFC behind, we all know who. Who's the champ that wants to fight Islam?
Topuria.
Yeah, we all know. We all know Topuria is the best boxer in the UFC, and Jack Della Maddalena is the second best boxer in the UFC. If you look back, he controls his takedown defense with his boxing, which is crazy. He keeps his hands up here and puts his elbows on people's back.
That hurts.
He's nuts. He has power in both hands, and he loves to control the distance with his jab like nobody else in mixed martial arts. Below, I hope he doesn't do what he said he's going to do and box
I hope not either.
JDM, because if he boxes JDM, he's going to get beat the fuck up. I'm sorry for swearing.
No,
I'm
you're
sorry
good.
for
I can put the tag on that.
Sorry for swearing. He's going to get beat up.
This isn't Sean Brady. This isn't
No.
Sean Brady.
No, he will get beat up, and he is a boxer, and he throws like a boxer.
Yeah.
Yes,
he does. I like him. I do. I don't mind him so much. And again, this is going back to it. There's a few people that are taking JDM in this fight, and when we go into the numbers like we always do, and because I've already looked at this too, with like on the Belal side, but you know that I have JDM knockouts, right? And so when we're looking at the JDM knockouts, as soon as my thing loads and I can scroll all the way down and it loads, when we're looking at the knockouts for JDM in overall, his first and second and third is a 420. So if you want to smoke that, smoke it. Now, if you go to the 3, 4, 5, it's a 700. So right there, if you're gonna play the knockout, you're gonna make the money. 1 unit each. You hit the unit, and then you're gonna if JDM and the knockout is your method, then that's what you want to do right now. And of course, when you go to double chance, because a lot of people think this is, the money is on the distance. So when you go knockout or points for JDM, it's a plus 160. But Muhammad knockout points is a negative 150. Muhammad's submission is a negative 145. What do you think about that?
I think if Muhammad wrestles like he should, I think he needs to put this against the cage, and I think he needs to make it dirty. He needs to take him down, and he does not want to stand at distance with this man at all.
No,
not one bit. Do not stand at distance. Rush him as soon as the bell rings.
Yeah.
And PC Strickland MMA. Yes, Belal needs a finish in this fight to win over more fans. Yes, he does.
Yeah, I agree with that. I want to throw in real quick before you go on. Like, Muhammad really does seek that better training. It's kind of way, like, other than me mentioning I fought a double world champ, I fought like a multiple world champ in a practice session, which was more aggressive than a normal point fight at our school about a month and a half ago, and he's coming up before the next fight. So that being said, is that when you fight different levels, you fight different, strength of opponents, that it gets harder. And so Muhammad has been through that. He's fought a lot of that, but so does JDM as well too. So both these guys right here are good. But the one thing I don't like about JDM is that we have his last 3 fights at 3 rounds, and then we have his last 4 fights previously were just 1 rounds. We get it 3 knockouts, sub, decision, knockout. But when we're going up to Muhammad, we already know we're getting 5, 5, 2, 5, 3, 3, 2, 3, 3, 3. So
we're getting a decision or a hug fest. That's what we're getting. We're getting him laying on top of someone for 5 rounds. That's what we're getting. He does not finish fights.
No, and I think that's that's right. PC brought up is that he does need to finish. I think that it doesn't matter what you say. You're going to throw hands with JDM. Go ahead, Bilal. That's fine. But we
Please.
know we Dan.
Please.
Dan, you calm down, sir. Um, but Bilal, I have to like again going back to it. He puts the work in and so does JDM. All these fighters are pro fighters for a reason, right? So with that being said, when we go back to it, if Muhammad's surrounding himself, Muhammad's going outside of himself trying to throw JDM off. He's trying to do that. That's my thing with him is that sometimes the championship just spreads itself. He knows if he loses this, that he's literally going to be looked down upon. He loses this, nobody's going to think that he was ever a credible champ. That he beat Leon Edwards because Leon Edwards didn't want to engage with him. And when Leon Edwards wanted to engage with him, he quit at times. Just the way he did against Sean Brady. And Muhammad smoked Sean Brady like we talked about quite a few pay-per-views ago.
Yeah.
When we talked about the Edwards-Brady fight. And then Brady smoked Edwards because Edwards just chapped out. He's timed out. He doesn't even know what to do or what he wants in his life right now. Muhammad knows what he wants. JDM is hungry. This fight is dangerous for me. What do you think, man?
And to go off subject, PC Strickland said Bilal turns 37 in 2 months as well. For what it's worth, will he slow down soon? So I'm going to answer that question and answer your question at the same time. Yes, he will slow down in the 4th round when he gets knocked out.
He said he's going to sleep to slow down. You know that I'll throw it back on, then get to my question as well too, Dan. I agree with that. I think that if there is, and I'm gonna go hit that while you get to my question. I think it can definitely happen. 4th round knockout.
Yeah,
plus 1900.
Yeah, I think that's when he slows down, and I think Bilal's going to say do what he said. I think he's going to stand up with him. I think he's going to get beat up for 3 rounds and knocked out in the 4th.
So like, I think that if there's going to be a fatal error by Belal Muhammad in this fight, it's his pride. I think that if we go into this fight and we look at Belal and he's saying these crazy things, that's like me saying all those crazy things when I go into my fight. But guess what? When I watch my fight tape back, I don't know why I hammer fisted that dude 5 times in a fight. I don't know why I decided to blitz a 5-foot dude so much, knowing that he was so small, I wasn't going to get a chance at his head. It was going to, sometimes our fight IQ can go against us. And if Belal Muhammad's fight IQ goes against him, then it's over with. Let's get. Is anyone on?
Oh, I agree. He did almost throw the fight in the 5th with Leon, man. He almost lost that fight in the 5th.
Yeah, he did when he was crawling away bleeding.
Yeah. That's what happens when Belal tries to stand with people. I mean, why is he going to try to stand with the best boxer in the 2nd best boxer in MMA right now? Come on.
So that, like I said, that's a plus 1900. And if we're saying JDM is gonna end this fight, what's really nice too is that right now, everything but the points is a negative. But that plus 750 for the submission, a little weird having Muhammad in this match with that. But the plus 190 knockout means that they think either one of these fighters is gonna knock out. But of course, the distance right now is a negative 160, but under is a plus 126. So if we just go plus 126 and we just go Maddalena at plus 152, we get a plus 213, which will cover any bet that you put on this fight. Because if you're on the Maddalena side, you get the plus 213. Of course, the odds will be a little lower on the Muhammad side. So who do you got?
I got JDM. 4th round knockout.
Yep, we got that money on that. We got it. And I think so. One of my bold picks is that Bilal Muhammad gets a third round submission for plus 30 or 4,300. You can follow that with a second, third, and fourth round submission at plus 1,600. I think he taps him. I think he's setting up smoke and mirrors. Just as sometimes the way I talk about my blitz on my little reels. Oh, my blitz, my blitz. And then I sidekick when I first get into that fight. Next thing you know, I'm back fisting or I'm a hammer fisting. Or I'm just literally playing up and I'm playing at you or I'm chasing you with my kicks. That can all be taken. And I know that those numbers, and I'm not saying so, of course, my main thing is going to be Bilal decision, 5 rounds. But my bold call for this fight is the third round submission by Bilal. And that's how I'm doing it, bro. Woo! I'm going to throw in a couple more bold picks. I got Lee with a second and third round knockout. And that's, of course, Ji Yong Lee. We got a plus 500 on that. We're hitting it. The knockout straight up in that fight for either fighter is a plus 100. You'll get your money back on that. Also, I'm also going to go Silva. We talked about the Silva. We're going Natalia Silva knockout in the second to third round is a plus 2,300. If you want a chance at the title, you knock somebody out. You knock out the former champ, and you knock them out with fashion. You start the beginning of the fight. You feel them up. You see how they're going to fight. And we all know that Grasso is going to be like, okay, we're going to go left and right. We're going to go left and right. Oh, I'm going backwards. Then she's going to time it. Then when she goes backwards, that's when Silva's going to use her speed and strength and rush forward, push her up or get to the fence. She's going to catch her with that hit. It's going to start dropping her, and that's when she's going to be able to mount and finish her. That plus 2,600 is way too juicy to take. I'm taking it. Dan, you got anything crazy else for this fight before we get to the DFS?
No, my JDM prediction is pretty crazy, so I'm going with it.
All right. I mean, I agree. And we've said some crazy shit during this podcast, so that's it. All right, let's get to the DFS lineup. This is going to be your DraftKings special. And I will say that this lineup is interchangeable. So I'm going Saint Denis at the top. If you have a captain spot, of course, he's going in your captain spot. He's going to cost you a lot of money. I think DK does not, and I don't know if this is a problem on their site. I don't think they merit or they increase the price on the captain spot. I can go check that in a second. Saint Denis, Bukakis, Lee, Shevchenko, Sterling, and I have this lineup with Katona, but if you want to be on the Dan train, Della Maddalena is right there, and so is Grasso, but we're not going Grasso because we picked Silva. And that's, well, we didn't pick Silva on that lineup. So you have Katona, Della Maddalena, Grasso, and Radke right there with you because you have $7,600 left over on that. Of course, I went with Katona, but easily can go with Della Maddalena. Dan, what did you got, man? Did you throw one together?
I did not throw one together this week, man. It's been a busy week. I got
upside the head.
I got hit with a steel beam yesterday.
Okay.
So
all right. Well, let's do it. Let's do a live Dan lineup right now. People, this is what we do. Get it? Ooh, yeah. All right. Who's your for sure win in this match?
My for sure win is Valentina Shevchenko. For sure win.
That's the one. Go on. What do we got?
I got Della Maddalena.
Got him. Bam. Who else you got?
I got
what's your boy? Aldo.
Propolic. I'll take Propolic.
You're taking Propolic.
Propolic, yeah.
You got 3 people left, and you got an average of 9,000 per person. So you're definitely not taking Saint Denis. So
no.
You taking Sterling, Jazuvidicius, and Aldo?
Yeah. I'll take all 3 of them.
All 3 of them. He literally has $1,000 left over. So even if you came off Propolic and you went up to Grasso or Radke, you get that. Dude, I love this lineup. I do love.
No, I'll take it. I'm taking it.
I know you are. I know you left $1,400 on the table last week and waxed my ass. So I'm not gonna say anything. And that's a lot of people. Everybody thinks that they have to in DFS spend all the money. No, you don't. take the best players. Half the people that win the Millionaire Maker have $3,000-$4,000 receivers that were in great spots that, for some reason, scored 2 touchdowns each.
Set Saint Denis live bet. Maybe Kyle looks good for a minute.
Get it. All right. So we got that. You know what?
We already talked about that. We already talked about
what
it.
he's saying the live bet. So if it goes live and say the first round, this way Prepelic actually gives Saint Denis some shit in the first round.
Yeah.
That 1,400 is going to come down to like a -400, -300 about. And then, yes, I would jump on that. Easily, I would jump on that because that's the only thing that they're going to let you jump on. But I would definitely jump on that. So, but you know what else about that last fight, the Maddalena that we talked about? Let's see if we could get anybody on the YouTube pages or anything like that. Significant strikes. How many significant strikes do people think that this fight will have totally? Put that in there. Do you think it's going to be what do you think, Dan? If we're going back boxing in Muhammad,
all 5 rounds. All 5 rounds.
All 5 rounds.
Significant strikes. It's
Each
a welter
75 plus.
It's a welterweight fight. I'd say about 220 total.
You know what? Both fighters to land 200 significant strikes. Bro, that's plus 5,500. Dude, that's insane. So if we're just, of course you got to bring it down. So if we're going to do that, both fighters to land 100 is their thing, and Maddalena is the win is a plus 1,000. So, dude, that's crazy. I agree with that. I'm gonna go. I just think that he's gonna go down. He's going 120. I'm gonna go 178 significant strikes total for this fight. I know it's something different we normally don't do, but I thought I would throw it. And I think that, that's why Dan is on that Prepelic too. If we're going to say Canadian fighters are going to lose and we're not going to make any money on the St. Denis side because we're going to have to wait till he goes live and hope Prepelic gets any kind of wins the first fight. He would have to win the first round against St. Denis to get a great number on St. Denis because I think at that point they would flip on him, put him at least a plus 110, plus 220, and then that's when you can hit St. Denis and hopefully get that knockout afterwards, which would play into my second round knockout for St. Denis.
I'm rooting for our Canadian brothers, man.
Man. We don't mind you, eh?
Rooting for the Canadian brother.
We got it, man. All right.
The 51st state, bro.
I want to go to Canada now and have a beer. I just want to have a beer up in Canada. I miss that. I miss those times, man. Definitely got to get it. I want to say thank you to everybody that attended the show, threw out some questions. Definitely, we got Raw Dirt, PC Strickland M&A. We got, of course, we had MMA Media Clips. Thank you for stopping through. And anybody else that's watching, tell people else, this is what we do literally weekly.
Every week.
We're just trying to put out that product. I know that other shows do 5 different shows. But at the same time, I want to make sure that these shows are in it and that we're giving you one show, everything together, so you know that you can count on that every single week. He's TDP 2.0, though. I did see that, though, at Raw Dirt with his TDP 2.0. When we were talking about RDR.
Yeah, I like that. I like this guy, man. I hope he watches more often.
I would say, though, I would love to see an RDR and a DDP because we could literally just.
I'd love to see that fight.
6 letters, that whole fight theory. You just like RDR, DDP. It's all right. And then at the end of it, when we hit it big from the win, we could give ourselves a self high five and a bang.
Hey, I'm the only one that picked RDR last week, so.
Yes, you did pick RDR, and that is, I do. Dude, Sean's MMA page is wild. I love watching that dude make some wild-ass comments. But yes, you did pick RDR, and because of that, I thanked you. My wallet thanked you. I was able to pay for this week completely with that RDR bet. Love it. All right, everybody. Have a great day. And always remember to bring the pain. And if you wanted this song, check out Peso Best Ever on YouTube and Audio Mac. This dude is literally trying to take over, do the best he can. He's as dedicated. We came across each other through a podcaster that I had on my show last year, Tay. So you can go back and look at those. I'm going to have him on. He's a football. Well, he does all sports, but I have him on always for football. Unfortunately, he's a Dallas Cowboy fan. You guys with that Pickens roll. But we're going to roll it to Nightmare by Peso. Dan, thank you for coming on. I hope your head feels better. And let's just bring the pain to the slates, and may the fights be with us. Ooh, yeah.
Music bring cash, call my burner stove. Make every copy hit the block with the flow. Make a couple grand in the vest, it's a mo. 24/7 on this wave like a boat club.
Thanks for stopping by the office. Get your fantasy prescription by subscribing to the channel and checking out drroto.com. And until the next visit, be well and take care.